My uncle calls Busch Light the nectar of the gods. Old beer here. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Matthew Jware, and I'm happy to be here. Tilly, what's happening, man?
You know, another week of very productive work. Not really. I went to work like a day and a half this week because of the storm and because of the holiday, but I'm back now. But yeah, I'm ready to record, ready to get this episode out to our adoring fans that surely exist. Either if not right now in this moment that we're recording, they're going to exist. I'm manifesting them into our lives.
Should I do my Mr. T impersonation of this storm that came through?
Yeah.
Okay, I will. You a paper champion, Elsa. You a paper champion.
It was a paper storm, just like the
fucking storm. Miami, that's a storm. Do we have storms like that every other day in the summertime?
Like the Miami Hurricanes are a paper storm in college football.
They're a true storm. That was nonsense, dude. We lose power at the brewery if like a gnat farts, okay? And we didn't lose power during this. So it doesn't count unless the brewery loses power.
I always I tell people, so I live here in Melrose, and like the wind blows, a light breeze crosses our power line and it flickers.
Yeah.
And we got that like once. Granted, middle of the state, north central Florida, we don't get a lot of anything from those storms anyway, but it literally flickered once, and I looked at my wife and I was like, "Are we gonna lose power?" And then nothing else happened. And that was solidly at like 3:00 in the afternoon. So it was like very late. And
yeah, well, shit, dude, we didn't even get rain here until 10 p.m. on whenever that was, Tuesday.
I will say,
and then I went to bed and I woke up and it was a ton
of rain. It was great. Our lake out there is very full. It's looking lovely. I love it.
Nice.
I love those kinds of storms. They just come through, they fill up the Florida aquifer system a little bit, and then there's nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, we get enough rain in the summer, so it's okay. But yeah, that was pretty much all it was. I didn't even see a whole lot of sticks and stones in the streets.
I had some leaves on my car, a couple bunches of leaves and some moss. So it was a good storm. It's my perfect kind of storm. I like it when there's nothing to worry about.
Perfect storm.
There was absolutely nothing. Oh, now there's a movie.
It's a movie, right?
Yeah. We can talk about the perfect storm another day, but
wait, is that a George Clooney movie?
Yeah. Because they're out on the boat, and then like
three different storms collide to create.
Yeah. They're like, we're gonna try to make it through. Whoa. Straight up the 60-foot wave, and then they die. So that's the end of the movie. I'm sorry if we're spoiling this movie for you, but it came out like 30 years ago.
No spoilers for movies that old.
25 years ago. But regardless, a long time ago, you should have seen it by now if you were at all interested in seeing that movie.
I don't know what beer they were drinking in the perfect storm, but we're drinking this dope ass backyard Passionfruit sour from First Magnitude Brewing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Shout out to Gainesville. Shout out to the crew over there, John, Eric, Christine, and Simon. Obviously, our head brewer.
Shout out this can art too.
Joe Simmons was a employee of theirs for a good bit, and has great vibes with First Magnitude, and they make great beer. This beer is excellent. I'll just say that right now. I'm a huge fan of light. This is 4.4%. I'm a big fan of balance. There is passion fruit in this beer, but it is not in your face.
It's well blended into the flavor profile.
And also, 10% of each can sold benefits imperiled Florida butterflies, as they did this beer in collaboration with the Florida Museum. Let's go.
Which let me go ahead and shout out while we're talking about the museum here in Florida. They've got a wonderful butterfly garden with migratory butterflies and all sorts of stuff. It's a great place to go if you are swinging through, and it's just right on the edge of campus. It's super easy to park at, and it's a great place. The kids love it. But you can go see the butterflies. But they are a great brewery. This is, like you said, it's a very smooth, easy drinking kind of beer. I like to, like, these are the types of things, like literally the name is just perfectly descriptive. Backyard. Like, I just sit in the backyard. Kids are playing, swinging, or swimming in the lake or in the pool or wherever you're at. It's just easy to be outside in the heat and just sip on this. Light and refreshing.
Yeah, I mean, it's July in Florida, so it was well-timed beer to drink tonight for us, and super well done. We appreciate you sending that over to me, Tilly, and great job, First Mag. Yeah, cheers, everybody.
They do some tasty stuff, and they've got a great location. If you're listening and you haven't had the chance to go to First Magnitude, but you think you will in the future, I definitely recommend swinging by. They got a great little outdoor space, a great indoor space as well, and it's in a being revitalized kind of interesting area that was previously kind of like industrial, and they put their mark in the middle of that industrial area, and things are growing up around it now. It's right just a little bit up the road from Depot Park, which is a great little new-ish, it's a couple years old now, location in Gainesville to swing by. Place for kids to play, place for people to grab food and drinks, and it's a great little area. They're spearheading that area, and they make a ton of great sour beers. I constantly go by, and it's like I pick up a new sour beer every time I go through there.
Yeah, great beer. I have been there a couple times actually, and super neat space. Got lots of room for all kinds of stuff, and the beer's always good.
Beer is always good.
We're not going to drink bad beer on this podcast. We had Hal Patter last week that was fresh watermelon Jolly Rancher. We've done Guinness. We've done Weihenstephaner. We've had some Bay Cannons. I mean, we don't have bad beers.
No. If we're going to...
We could do a whole entire episode on Bud Light if we wanted. That might be fun.
I mean, we could do a whole one on this Busch Light if we want in the future. You know, the best macro beer that you'll have, light macro beer. But all the beers we drink on here, basically, you know, we know what we're getting into. We know what we like. We know the breweries we tend to like. So we get into those. If you're in Florida, First Mag's getting a lot wider distribution. Obviously, they got a pretty good sizable operation now. They're not just restricted to Gainesville, is what I'm saying. You can find it. So, you know, if you see this on the shelf, I don't know if they distribute this out of here, but if you see their beers on the shelf, they always make good stuff, and I highly recommend them.
Yeah,
they make
absolutely.
Good, solid versions of all the like mainstays, your wheats and IPAs, all that stuff. If you see it, buy it. You won't be disappointed.
Do you think that they had the Tampa Bay Lightning game on the other night?
I bet you they did. I mean, they got TVs on the inside. They got at least a few TVs on the inside. My thing is they probably had some sort of watch party outside. I don't know what their inside seating is like nowadays. They've been a little bit slower in expanding out than Gainesville was at the start. So maybe they were in there. I'll have to.
I mean, I hope they did. There's got to be a bunch of Lightning fans over there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Not everyone can be blessed like myself to be a Jacksonville Iceman fan. The old minor league hockey team up in Jacksonville. But yeah, I'm sure they had it on. There's plenty of Lightning fans up here. I know when we were going through the earlier rounds, I was definitely discussing plenty. And I don't watch a ton of hockey. I watch some hockey, but I was definitely discussing a lot more than I knew what I was talking about when people were discussing with me. So
I watched more hockey in the last week than I have in the last 20 years. I can assure you that. I am not a hockey person. I am from the state of hockey, so I have been inundated with hockey my entire life. I'm not a fan of NHL for a bunch of reasons, but mostly I grew up playing basketball, so that's what I did in the winter.
basketball and football.
Was far more interested in watching college and professional basketball when I was growing up. There was a gentleman by the name of Michael Jordan playing basketball then, so I don't give a who was playing hockey. It didn't really matter.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that gentleman. Yeah, I'll have to do some research and figure out who you're talking about.
That's not me. And I come to Florida, furthest state from Minnesota, not technically. And it turns out
furthest hockey state,
Tampa is probably a bigger hockey town than Minneapolis, St. Paul. And if anybody from Minneapolis, St. Paul is listening to this, you're probably pissed off right now. Because obviously way more people from like the age of 2 up play hockey in Minneapolis and St. Paul than play hockey here. But these people here, they love the Lightning. And there isn't a MLS team here, although the Roadies are quite good. They're a level down. There isn't a NBA team here.
Expansion
and so this town has the Bucks, obviously. It has the Lightning. And in Tampa, that's it. Of course, the Rays are in the St. Pete side. And people do love the Rays here, but it doesn't get the kind of support. And I'm telling you what, these guys love hockey. And the players seem to totally vibe with it because these guys are from Canada and Russia and all over the place, and they love it here. And people love it. So,
I mean,
big shout out to Tampa.
Move down
being a great hockey spot during a hell of a run for their organization.
Yeah, and those guys love, I'm sure, to move down to where you get such nice weather. You get some heat and humidity, but you get such nice weather in the times of the year when they're used to sub-zero temperatures. Just like Tom Brady coming down here, he's living his best life.
Yeah. Tom Brady does have to play ball when it is balls hot outside.
But he doesn't have to deal with
all the Russians and the Canadians get to leave now if they want. Their season's over; they're out.
Yeah, that's true. There's some differences there for sure, but
I'm honestly surprised by just what an incredible hockey town it is. I don't know that any of these towns that have NFL teams will ever not be, like Minneapolis, St. Paul. Minneapolis, it's a Vikings town.
Vikings.
Yeah, it's just the Twins have won World Series. Unfortunately for them, as it's a huge hockey state, maybe the raddest nickname and logo of all time, the Minnesota North Stars, was ripped from their hearts and taken to Texas and totally changed, which sucks. And so they got an expansion team, and they've never won it. I don't think they've won a Stanley Cup in my lifetime, whether it was the North Stars or the Wild.
Or now.
But people do love it there, but golly, man. And you know what the crazy thing is here about Tampa is that, look, I'm going to be very blunt about this. Hockey is an extremely white sport, okay? And there is a tiny amount of diversity amongst its ranks, but mostly it's a very white sport. In Tampa, it's an extremely diverse place, okay? I mean, it is Cuban, it is Spanish, it is black, it is white, it is whatever. And the people here, all of them, They all love hockey. They all love the Lightning. It is very cool. I'm not a hockey fan, obviously, I said, but that is hard to avoid enjoying that kind of excitement for it. So it's been a nice couple of years run, even though last year was weird.
Yeah.
And this year kind of was too, up until towards the end.
Well, it's the whole like past 3 years for them has been weird because they go in record-breaking team in the regular season, won so many games 3 years ago, and I don't watch a ton of hockey. Like I follow because I have friends that love it and love the Lightning, so I follow along just to be like, hey, good job, your team won type of thing, you know. I don't have anyone that I cheer for that's opposing.
Right.
Team.
You're not
So
going to be the party.
There's no need to nod. I'm just like, hey man, your team won. Hey, I saw they were up 2-0 in the playoffs. That's really freaking cool. Like I'm happy for you, that kind of thing. And so 3 years ago, I was like, hey bro, y'all made it to the Stanley Cup, and then they got swept. And you're like, well, at least they won a lot of regular season games. And then the next year, obviously being, mid-pandemic, very strange year, and they won it. I mean, everyone was dealing with the same strangeness. So,
yeah,
asterisks if you want, but somebody had to win. Somebody was going to win.
They were probably the best team, and they went to Canada and did it.
How can you put an asterisk on them when they won, when everyone else is dealing with the same thing? They didn't get a benefit there.
You can put an asterisk on the whole year if you want, I guess. But.
Yeah, and now this year they won, obviously, and I see this stuff about some sort of roster cap, salary cap thing that they did, and people are very upset about. And I'm like, but doesn't everyone have the same ability to do the same thing they did? And from what I've read, they played within the rules that are there as far as the salary cap in the regular season, and then being able to bring players back off of injury or whatever. Hey, everyone had the same rules. Everyone could have done the same thing if they wanted to try to do that. I think people are more mad that they had better players to be able to bring back off of that and still make the playoffs and then do that. And that's really where the upset comes in. And I get it, but
I mean,
anyway,
they're a two-time back-to-back champ. Now they're going to start to be played as the villain.
Everyone can make a big deal of something in sports. There's always something you can say.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, how about your boy Keith Olbermann?
My boy.
Responding to Nikita Kucherov, who put together an epic post-game presser for multiple reasons. I mean, it wasn't really even that good. It just was like incredible. And I don't know if that makes sense, but he didn't say a whole lot. What he did say was hysterical. He said it all with his shirt off at the presser, chugging a beer, and he ended it
this podcast. We got to get on board with the chugging the beer thing.
We 100% appreciate that. Nikita, you can come on the Cold Beer Here pod whenever you want and pound beers, and also talk shit about Montreal Canadiens fans if you want. Which is how he ended the podcast or the presser, by making fun of them burning their city down 2 nights before for winning one game in the series,
stopping a sweep.
and then of course, I mean, somebody's gonna make something out of it, and people were so mad. Keith Olbermann was like, he insulted a country and is just shameful, and I was like, whatever, dude. That guy's from another country. He doesn't care.
City.
He insulted a city and a bunch of yahoos who have burned their city down multiple times, and this for no reason at all.
And have nothing to show for it, which is really like if you're going to burn your city down, you should at least be doing it for some sort of specific reason.
Yeah.
You're just doing it for nothing.
Like at least win the cup, which, by the way, is also a very stupid reason. I mean, this should be a joyous occasion. It doesn't seem to me that lighting things on fire is a joyous thing. Like,
well, it depends.
I mean,
You're talking like
lighting a
fireworks,
fire
4th of
at the
July,
okay.
or
Yeah,
like a
well,
campfire. Those are very joyous. But lighting things on fire that aren't supposed to be lit on fire, like police cars and houses
couches and in the
couches,
street.
it's different. It's
It's
different.
nonsense. And let me say this about Montreal. That is a rad city. And I have been there. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Just a really, really neat place. I also definitely got the vibe that they don't like Americans very much. Now, I know for a fact that in the general province of Quebec that they aren't the biggest fans. But Montreal is Montreal's kind of a haven there, that it's just got a ton of culture and a lot of different things and fun, and the people there are great. Most incredible language I've ever seen. That they knew that I was American. They were speaking French to the people right next to me, and they turn and look at me and they're like, "What can I get you?" And I hadn't said a word, and I was just like, "Whoa!" And there was like no accent. I was just like, "Wow." But yeah,
I've heard a lot of great things about Montreal. And honestly, there's 2 places in Canada really on my list, and it's Montreal and Toronto. Places
Vancouver.
I want to go to.
Vancouver's got to be on your list.
I've never heard much about Vancouver.
Yeah, Vancouver I've heard is awesome. Toronto's very cool too. Toronto's a lot like, it's just so big. I mean, it's a lot like
the New York,
Chicago or New York. I mean, it's just gigantic.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like one of those things. I feel like it would have to be a different trips type of thing. I would have to go do different cities.
Yeah, they probably won't let you in there for 5 years.
Yeah,
you might breathe something that somebody might catch.
They're gonna be like, we've heard about you, Tilly. You're on probation before you can get in here.
Did you sneeze in the last 48 hours? You cannot come in here.
Well, I am from Florida. There was a lot of pollen. Get out.
Yeah. Oh, you're from Florida? Oh yeah. You're not coming.
Well, that's a good segue into our Hold My Beer Florida Man section. We were talking about this.
What do we got?
So what would you do if you just pulled up a couch cushion while you were cleaning your house and you found a Powerball ticket from 2 months before, 3 months before? Would you even check the numbers on it? Like, I feel like I wouldn't, because I'd feel like, there's no way I just threw this or let this just.
Well, let me say something. If I had ever or do ever purchase a Powerball ticket, I find out if it is a winner immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, like when they do the drawing.
So at the very least, I have it in my car, and the next day I go to the gas station and I scan it.
No, I don't buy lottery tickets at all. So if I buy one,
You're checking.
I'm checking. So the odds are, if it's under my cushion, that it's a loser. So I do feel like it's very possible that I would throw it away, and it sort of is. I know what you're about to say that happened to this Florida man, and if I were to throw that away, I would probably never forgive myself.
But you never know. So there you go. Like, you're never going to know if you had a winner or not. You're just going to throw it away.
Unless they say, there was this $1 million winner that was purchased at the 7-Eleven on the corner of Limbaugh and Armenia. And I'd be like,
on April 17th? So it says Kenneth Morgan of Jacksonville was cleaning his house on the 4th of July and found a Powerball ticket worth $1 million, because he got all 5 of the regular numbers, missed on the Powerball. And he bought it on April 17th. So he got all the main ones. He bought it at a Publix liquor store in Jacksonville.
How long do you have to claim it?
I feel like it's 6 months.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I feel like it should be a year.
I may cross-check myself on that, but yeah. So obviously it was a non-jackpot winning one, but still $1 million.
$1 million, man.
When people say they've got money in their couch cushions, I don't think they quite meant $1 million.
No. And yeah, absolutely not.
So what if he was like what if they like had like a house cleaner and the house cleaner came through and cleaned up and then found it? I'm always like, clearly the guy would be like, oh, that was obviously mine. She's my house cleaner. But
well, I would probably, if I was a house cleaner, I would probably just pocket that and I just wouldn't even say.
you just don't say anything, and then
you say
in right at the deadline.
You bought it, and then you come out and you're like, yeah, I buy the Powerball, and then when the dude whose Powerball ticket it was sees it, that his cleaning lady won, he would just be like, oh my God, that's incredible. Because how does he know that she found something that he didn't know existed, and that it wasn't something she bought?
I would just put it off a little bit. Just put it off. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I would just put it off until closer to the end of it and be like, there we go.
A million is a good number because obviously it's really only worth about 500,000. So let's say that you had $500,000 right now. What would you do with it? Anything other? If the answer is save it, I don't want to hear it. But is there anything that you would do other than save?
So are we saying like so just to get away from the lottery question a little bit, are we saying like if you just had $500,000 but you couldn't just do something boring like put it in your 401k?
No.
And you had to use it on something? Is that what you're saying? I'm
saying you won that Powerball ticket and you had all the cash from it. What are you doing with it other than saving it? I assume you're going to save some of it.
I mean, you got to save some of it.
Yeah.
What I've always wanted.
If something that you wanted to do right now and you could with that money, what would you do with it?
What I've always wanted is a BMW M5. It's been my dream car.
You would buy a fucking most depreciating asset of all time.
Well, I would save the rest of it, but I've always wanted one. So
how much is that?
Depending on which model you're getting, 75 to 100,000.
Okay. I mean, that's a lot, but okay. It's not terrible.
But, we got other things going on in our lives. Obviously I could say, well, I'm going to pay off like this or this or this, but I'm trying to think. And, if it was, because we're going to be probably okay with retirement and stuff, not necessarily, depending on how things go, but I don't know, like maybe that. My dad's already going to potentially pay for me to get a MBA or something, so I don't have to put anything towards education. Oh, that would be the smart thing to do, honestly. Forget the car. Like, let me put money aside for my kids' education. Let's do the wise thing here.
Wait, you didn't do, you don't have a 529 or Florida prepay?
In the process. We haven't done it yet. We're trying to figure out because it's a long story, but yeah.
I would pay off college. I'd pay off student debt for me and my wife. I have significantly more because I have a master's that was basically fully federally funded while I was coaching football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably do that. That's not that much though. Overall, it's probably a total of 75 or 80 grand between the two of us. Gosh. I'd probably buy real estate with it. I can't tell you where exactly. We're looking at some stuff in North Carolina at the moment, some land.
I'll tell you.
But it might be
Colorado is a great place if you want to buy some property.
I'd probably buy something outside of like in the Asheville Henderson bubble, but in the mountains, and that's where we're looking. But I might buy something a little nicer than I'm currently looking for.
That's true. We have a place up in Fairplay, Colorado. So the wise thing to do would probably be to just pay that off, and then it would just be pure rental profit.
Okay. Yeah, if you're rent. Yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing about real estate is it's a good asset to have. So I don't know that it always makes sense to pay it all off. Because if your debt's bad, then restructure that.
I look at it like this is, then so we're renting it and we're making a good amount. If we didn't have to pay, the mortgage and stuff like that, we would be a lot better off than just on a month-to-month basis. It just depends what you're doing with it, I guess. We've got like 6 acres and the house, so it's a good little spot. I don't know if we can portion off that in the future and build some other stuff, which would be kind of nice if we didn't have the mortgage, and we could potentially build like maybe another house if we could get the permitting to do that.
For 6 acres, it seems like you should be able to subdivide that, but a lot of those communities in the mountain areas are weird.
And really, I wouldn't want to subdivide it too much more than maybe just like another house or 2. If obviously
you like to have,
is you want to have the space. Like, you don't want it to be like you're in the city,
right?
Stacked next to each other.
That's cool,
type of thing. So,
well, good for that dude, man. Good for him, man. That's
pretty badass.
I always have like a little bit of envy in me when I hear that, but I'm always happy too. I'm always like, that's so great. Good for them.
Until I see the story that's like, previous lottery winner who won $1 million stabbed 8 people in a subway, and I'm like, well, fuck that dude. He shouldn't have won $1 million. That's bullshit.
No, I'm not I mean, that doesn't seem cool. That's not as cool as this.
Kind of jumping around topics though. Did you see this Rory McIlroy stuff?
You talking about from today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a little thingy on the tweeter.
Yeah, I tweeted about it. I showed a shorter video and then a longer one. Apparently, some fan just kind of walked out next to Rory, and at first he like grabbed the like head cover of the golf club, and then he kept walking. I think he expected the club to go with him, and he was just going to saunter off. And then he had to come back because the head cover came off, and he came back and pulled a golf club out, and it looked like he walked off, but he only really walked like 20 feet, and he was standing there like he was like testing, like he was going to take a test swing or something with like he's at the driving range. This is the Scottish Open. You're not just at the driving range. So everyone was just kind of like,
I mean, dude. He was probably had a little Johnny Walker prior. I saw Rory just kind of looked around like he didn't understand what was happening.
Well, so I know during golf, like they have people that will come by and do like a bag check type of stuff and make sure that they've got the right number of clubs and whatever type of thing. They'll do like equipment checks basically. And so maybe like when he first started, that's what him and his caddy and were thinking. And I guess John Rahm was there too. So that's maybe what they were thinking. I was just some tournament dude. Cause like, so here's the thing, like, so you can get away with a lot of things for a while, not indefinitely, if you just walk around and act like you're supposed to be there. Like, I'm supposed to be here. Like, if you walk with confidence, you can get away with a lot of things.
I know, but I gotta tell you, if someone I didn't know came up and grabbed some of my shit within a foot of me, okay?
Like, hold the fuck on.
I don't care. Well, first of all, if it's a PGA Tour professional that's doing the shit, he's got badge and shirt and hat, and he looks like a referee or whatever the hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not, I got questions immediately. Like, hey, what's up? What can I help you with? What? Wait, what? What are you doing?
Or at least like
what?
At least you turn to somebody and you go, hello. Because you have to assume like one of the people that's doing like even like disregarding like the badge and shirt and all that kind of stuff, he's not just going to walk up and just start doing things. Like the person working,
no, he's going to say hi.
Isn't going to walk up because they're probably fans too, so they're going to walk up and be like, hey, Rory, we need to check your bag, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Not just walk up and just start taking shit out.
No.
So
The only thing that I was
it's very strange.
I was just slightly underwhelmed was that I didn't see a fight. So that's all.
And even when the security just kind of sauntered over, like in the longer video, there was no like, it was basically like, hey, dude, come with us. That's what it looked like. It was like it kind of looked like when like my friend is drunk at a club and he's being a dick and loud, and I'm trying to like prevent things from escalating. I walk up and be like, hey, man, hey, come with me. I want to tell you something. Just to get him out of there.
Oh yeah.
Like, all right, now I'm gonna strong arm you once we get to the front door. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. What are you doing? Like, that's what it looked like to me. Like, hey, man.
Yeah, they didn't want to make a scene. I mean,
it's golf.
I'm just scrolling Twitter. I'm looking for a scene. Sorry.
I mean, I would love to see a scene. I definitely would have, but we didn't get to see that. So
that's great. Well, before we wrap it up, I want to say that we are now, what is it, the 9th? 9th? So we're
July 9th.
Yeah, we're 3 weeks out from the Bay Cannon Beer Company anniversary weekend. But more importantly, we're less than 2 weeks out from beer, burgers, and Botox event at the brewery.
Botox. We get free Botox when we show up and buy a ticket.
Well, you got to sign up for one of the 20 slots for Botox with the plastic surgeon who's coming in, and we're going to offer some specials. It's burger night anyway, so we're doing a crazy special burger for it, which we do every Thursday. But we're also going to do a special on beer, and then we're going to have a whole little section where people that signed up can go right into the booth and get Botox.
I have to let some people know that got some wrinkles on their faces.
What's the demo for the folks that watch this podcast? What are there just tons of women that are watching? I mean, I gotta believe there are.
I mean, I feel like with you and myself involved here, you got a very good hat game going on, and I've got a very strong beard. I feel like our pull with the woman demographic has got to be very, very strong.
Should be high. Ladies, we're Botoxing at the brewery.
And no, I know you did not just hear my wife laugh from downstairs. It's totally not true. It never happened.
And not only that, we got alliteration. That's alliteration, for those of you, is when you're able to use 3 words beginning with the same consonant. And we've got beer, burgers, and Botox.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Alliteration's my favorite type of English.
It is great. I always look for it.
You see you do see a lot in a lot of beer names. There's a lot of alliteration out there. If you start to look now, you'll see a lot of repetitive first letter stuff in a lot of beers. Or if you're a big fan of Harry Potter, Severus Snape, Minerva, McGonagall.
I give credit to it's like the Tiger Slam. It's not the Grand Slam, but Tiger Slam. But if you have a word with multiple syllables that begin with that consonant sound, and you only have 2 words, but I'll give it to you. I'll count it.
There's some flexibility.
Like Bilbo Baggins.
It's even better.
That's alliteration. That's the Tiger Slam version.
All right.
All right.
Well, we'll wrap it up here. This is going to be, I may just wrap both the tasting and drinking and talking about the First Mag Backyard into a single episode on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate
that's the way to go.
Guys and gals over at First Mag, good beer. Thanks for sending that over again, and it was an excellent late night happy hour treat.
That was perfect. All right, well, we'll let y'all go for today, and we'll be back again in a few days. And
Yeah, sounds good. Until then, drink good beer and be nice.
Or Busch Light if you want. It's also good beer. Cheers.
Cheers.